everyone, this is Bev from Art by Bedell, and I have a page in my bird journal, and it is actually kind of a knockoff from a page that I had done in my December Ember journal, and I can show you here. It's a journal. Here it is. This is the page that I did, and so I'm kind of doing the same thing in this bird journal that I have here. I'm using the same paper, Echo Print watercolor paper, or maybe it's mixed media, one of the two. Anyhow, I have this part here. The rest of it I thought was real pretty. I really didn't want to cover it up, but I thought this could be covered up. So what I want to do is to first create my pocket. And I have chosen some of my cleanup paper, my mixed media cleanup paper that I had made a while ago for another journal to use in this journal. It has the same color blue and the brown, and I thought that that was quite appropriate for this. So I have torn a piece here, and pretty much everything is all inked up around the edges, I believe. And then I have a piece of the digital that I want to layer on top of that, so we'll do that next. I have found that I have a difficult time getting things to stick to this cleanup paper. Now, this cleanup paper is a butcher paper. It is coated, but not coated like for freezer paper. So I don't know why, but I do have a little bit of a difficult time when it comes to using a glue stick. If I use my wet glues, I'm good. So that's why you'll see me using wet glue to glue down to this. I am going to glue this down right along the top edge of my pocket here. This is where I want that. Now, the next piece that I want to put on my pocket is going to be a piece of lace. This is some vintage lace that I'm not even sure where I found it, guys. I pick stuff up here and there whenever I see something, and I don't document stuff like that. So anyhow, I'm going to put some glue on that. And again, I'm using the same wet glue. And I'll just put that down in place like this. And then I have a label that came with the kit that I want to place here. I'll glue that down right there. And I also, from the kit, have this number label that I'm going to put down. So far, highly interesting watching somebody just glue things together, right guys? Sometimes you have that. And then I have 2 eggs that I cut off the paper. One of the paper designs had some eggs on it. So I just fussy cut them out, just like that. Now, everything is stuck on there, but it's not secured on there, if you know what I'm saying. So I am going to take this over to the sewing machine, and I am going to do some stitching all around that pocket. All right, so I stitched around, let's see, the whole outside. I stitched from here around this label to here, and then I stitched around this label to here. So everything is pretty well secured on there. So there is the pocket for us. Looking pretty good. Up top, I have printables that we have from Pixie Dust Files, and they're on Etsy. And I am going to take that, I'm going to set my page aside, and I'm going to create like a panel here. This is another piece of the paper from the digital collection. And then this is my bird that I have. This bird was given to me from a friend many, many years ago. There was several in the collection, and that's where that came from. So what I want to do is I am going to put a little bit of glue on all of these just to hold them in place. I want to put that a little cockeyed like that. And then I'll take my bird and make that a little bit straighter on, twist it the other direction like this. And then I want to do with this is to do some crazy stitching like I did in my December Ember page. I did crazy stitching around the bird and the whole panel. So I will be back. We have our panel done. Get our threads cut back a little bit. I like to leave some hanging, but I don't like them to be 3 feet long either. All right, so that looks good. We'll put that on our page like that. So we will glue that down. And we can also glue our pocket in place now, remembering we're doing the 2 short sides and along the bottom edge. Set that aside. And let's work on some tags. I have some manila tags here, and then I have some birds, and I think these came from Grabby maybe. And anyhow, I have tags inked up around the edge. I'm going to take a piece of acrylic, and I'm going to take Speckled Egg Distress Oxide ink, and I am going to smear it onto my piece of acrylic and spritz it with some water. And then I'm going to take that directly to my tags and apply the ink to my tags. So that wasn't quite enough ink, so let's do another squeezy on the palette here and spritz it with some water and apply it to our other manila tag. Now, if you haven't used the distressed inks on a manila tag, I have to tell you, it is like the best paper for using these inks on, I think. I just really, really like the way it responds to it, and it just works really nice. So I have enough blue on there. I'm liking that, but I do think I want to add a little bit of the vintage photo also. So let me dry my acetate here, my piece of acrylic, whatever it is. Put a little bit of the vintage photo and spray that also. And then apply that to our tag here and there. Okay, there's one. 2. There, that looks nice, looks real nice. And we're going to dry those. I'm going to pull down my page again. Oh, my glue didn't stick. I'll have to glue that again. And lay these on here, as I know I have this yellow going on around the outside and wondering if I need to add some yellow to them. I don't think so. I like the contrast, so I think I'm just going to leave them the way they are. So let's put that back aside here. Actually, I want that to be nice and dry when I'm done with my tags, so I'm going to add the glue now. How far has it not adhered? And then I'll take a couple little clips to make that hold. The other side did good. Okay, so now we'll set that aside. So for these tags, to finish these off, I have these little birds that I think would look really nice on there. I think they're just a little bit wide, so I want to take my scissors and just take a little off each edge. That's better. Let's see, which edge is the best one? Get a little off both of these. Okay. Like that. Now I'll have to re-ink those edges on that. And I also want to add something underneath them. That's just not enough texture going on for me. We have made our pocket out of our mixed media paper, but I don't want to do that. I want to add some lace or some sort of fabric or something. Let's see what we have here that we can use. Some cheesecloth would be great. Get out my little container here that has some texture pieces in it that I could use. I like these where you tear something off them. And I believe they were from a package of Tim Holtz tickets is where I got that. And I'm going to have that stick beyond the tag. And I have enough for all 3 of them to have it. Cut off a piece of cheesecloth. Let's just work on one at a time here. That makes me happy. So we'll start with gluing this down. And I'm going to have it overhang, so I want to be careful not to put any glue beyond where I want to have it overhang. And I'm going to take that up toward the top like that. Put a little bit of glue where I want to put my cheesecloth. And that's going to overhang a little bit also. And then I'll take my little bird here. And I'll create all 3 of these, and then I think I'll just do stitching up one side when I take it to the sewing machine. So I'll put the other 2 together. Okay, now I have that all put together like that. Before I take it to stitch it, I want to stamp my lines on here for the journaling. Now I'm ready to put my stitching on. There, I think we succeeded in keeping it light instead of all dark. Now for a tie on those, I have some fabric that has been echo printed, and I'm just going to cut some strips, and I'll put my loop down through, take my tails, pull my loop up from the back, take my tails, put them down through the loop, and pull it taut. There's our 3 tags. Pull our page back down, and we should be stuck here much better. Sometimes you just have to convince things to work your way. And then these 3 pretty tags are going to go in our pocket like this. There we go. So there's another page in our bird junk journal. Hope you have enjoyed watching this process video, and we shall see you again next time we do another page in our journal. Have a great day. Bye now, guys.